Hey everybody, this tutorial is going to talk about solving equations with fractions in them. Fractions! Everybody's afraid of them. For whatever reason, when they show up in a problem like that, it makes people shut down. There's no reason for that. First of all, fractions are just like any other number, with just a few special quirks to them that you have to watch out for. Take this equation, for example. One of the things that you can do with this equation is change it to something that maybe looks a little more reasonable. For example, on this side, you could write this as 3/4 times x plus 8 minus 2/3 x plus 3 equals 25 over 6. This works out a little bit nicer because this looks just like a number, and we know we're going to distribute it then to get rid of the parentheses, and then we're going to add like terms. One of the things that we can do to get rid of the parentheses here after we distribute is to make sure that this goes to that, and this goes to this, and this goes to this, and this goes to this. So what we'd be left with is 3/4 x plus 3/4 times 8. You could do that. 4 goes into the 8 2 times, and 2 times 3 is 6. So we know this is going to be 6. Another thing that you could do is you could come over to your calculator, go to a blank screen, and you could type literally 3 divided by 4 times 8 and get this number. In this case, it turns out to be 6, which is nice and unpleasant. What we get, there's a little bit of a glare there. That's a 6. All right. Our next step would be to multiply this. So negative 2/3 goes through, negative 2/3 x. And in this case, 3 times 3 would give us, the 3's would cancel is what I mean to say, leaving us with negative 2. Or, again, you could have wrote 2 divided by 3 times 3, and you would have gotten the same number. I think probably a little bit more work. 25 over 6 is finally what we have to do. All right, this part right here, we're supposed to add like terms. So we're going to add the x terms and the number terms. Well, what does that work out to? Again, 3/4 minus 2/3. You could do this off to the side, 3/4 minus 2/3, and find the common denominator and so forth, which is easy enough to do. 3/4 minus 2/3, common denominator being 12. 4 times 3, so this is going to be 9/12. 4 times 3 gives us 12, which is 8. So this is going to be a total of 1/12. X. And then 6 minus 2, which is going to be positive 4, equals 25 over 6. You could have as well, if you have a graphing calculator, you could have put in here 3 divided by 4 minus 2 divided by 3. Enter, and you get this large number. Push math, frac, the number 1, and you get the same answer. Now you can do that all in one stroke. If you get this equation back up, and you push math, frac, right at the end of when you put it, it'll give you just the answer. All right, next, we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. This will leave us with 1/12 x equals 25 divided by 6 minus 4, math, frac, and it gives us 1/6. I happen to know if I put a 2 in for x right now, that'll be my solution because the 2 will cancel, but that's because I know about fractions and I know how they operate. On the other hand, if I didn't know that, I might have realized that I have to multiply by 12 over 1 or divide by 1/12, which each way causes a little bit more problem. I'll multiply by 12 over 1 on both sides, and here I'll see that x equals 2. And again, you could get it either way by saying 1/6 times 12 times 12, and there's no real reason to write 12 over 1, but we'll just do it. Enter, gives me my answer. I could have said 1/6 Um, oops, I should have said this, parenthesis, because if you're going to do division, like I'm about to do, you have to have these parentheses here. The answer is quite different if you don't. Divided by 1/12. So you could divide both sides by 1/12 is essentially what you would do, and you still get the same answer. That's why it works. But there you have it. Change fractions into decimals. That's another idea. Or just make the fraction a fraction times something. That's one way to solve equations, linear equations that have fractions in them. Take care, and I'll see you in class.